Good morning. So it's Friday morning. So what you've got to do today is finish writing your non-chronological report. So mine is all about thunder dragons and you know what yours is all about. So we've already written the introductory sentence, we've written about the appearance and what they look like, we've written about habitat and where they live. So we've got hobbies, what they do, and did you know all fascinating facts left to do. Thankfully, that's not a lot, so we're going to combine and finish it today. So we're going to do both bits to get our non-chronological report finished. So, I'm just going to read through what I've already written over the last couple of days because that's always really important when we're coming to write again because we don't want to keep repeating it. And that's easily done when we're not all writing it in one go because we can't remember, so that's why it's really important. So, thunder dragons. Thunder dragons are fascinating creatures that are feared across the world by humans. What do they look like? There are many different types of thunder dragons that vary considerably in appearance. Most adult thunder dragons are enormous. Furthermore, their skin tends to be dark colours. Amazingly, they emit lightning from the tips of their wings when they feel threatened. Habitat. Thunder dragons exist throughout the world. The majority like to live at the top of mountains. Some prefer to reside in caves, but all thunder dragons keep their distance from humans. During the day, thunder dragons fly among the clouds so that they cannot be spotted. So that's where we're up to so far. So I'm going to be writing the next 2 paragraphs. So once again, I don't need a title, okay, or anything new. I'm just going to keep writing from the last bit that I wrote because it's all one piece of writing. So I do need to start with my subheading, and I'm writing about hobbies or what they do. So I think I'm going to go with hobbies on this occasion. Okay, you might go with what do they do. Again, my subheading needs capital and I need to underline it. So, I'm thinking about what they do. So thinking of my planning sheet, my boxing up, I've said about how they like to fly over sea, they like creating storms, they make thunderous sounds, they play Quidditch. So, I'd like to add all of those things into here. So on aliens, they had their first sentence of listing 3 things that they are best known for. So I think I might start and magpie that idea. So I'm going to start my paragraph with thunder dragons. Remember to start with that capital letter at the start. I'm going to copy a magpie. I'll probably best known for 3 reasons. And then that piece of punctuation that's at the end of your model text is called a colon, and that introduces a list. So where we're going to list 3 things, that's why that goes there. So I'm going to put that colon there. So I've put in my plan about creating storms, thunderous sounds and playing Quidditch. So those 3 I'm going to link together. So I'm going to say thunder dragons are probably best known for 3 reasons. And I'm going to start with creating storms. As I'm listing those, I will have a comma between them. I'm then going to say making thunderous noises. Because it's my 3rd one, and playing Quidditch. And that's the end of my sentence, so I'm going to reread it. Thunder dragons are probably best known for 3 reasons: creating storms, making thunderous noises, and playing Quidditch. So I said about them flying overseas, so I might start with that next. So I don't need to repeat thunder dragons again. I can use a pronoun, so I'm going to say they. And then I'm going to use a generalizer, usually fly overseas. And maybe I want to expand that point. Why do they fly overseas? Maybe I'm going to add that conjunction to continue my sentence. So they usually fly overseas and like to find remote islands. So islands maybe that nobody lives on, but cool places to go and explore. So remote islands to explore. Full stop. Then I want a sentence opener. So similarly maybe to the original text, I could say interestingly, comma. I said about sailors being able to tame them. Sailors are the people who go on boats, okay? So interestingly, sailors have been known to tame, and I'm going to say these creatures. Well, I don't want to necessarily repeat creatures again yet. So beasts, beautiful beasts, and then I've got alliteration as well. These beautiful, cross my T properly, beautiful beasts. And then another sentence, I'm going to say, despite their appearance, and again, that's my sentence opener, so I can have a comma. So despite their appearance, thunder dragons are not going to be as frightening as they seem, and that means they could look quite scary. So that's sort of my saying, although they look scary, they're not actually. So despite their appearance, thunder dragons are not as frightening as they seem. Full stop. I want a generalizer again, I think, so I'm going to go with most. Most thunder dragons and this bit wasn't in my original plan because I'm thinking what else could I add? I didn't think that was maybe enough about what they do. So I'm thinking most thunder dragons are artistic. I'm not sure if you know what that means, but it means that they like art. Okay, if someone's artistic, they either really enjoy it or they're good at it and skilled at it. So most thunder dragons are artistic. And they use, and I'm linking back to something I've already written about before. If you remember, I said when they feel threatened, they have lightning that emits from the tips of their wings. So I'm going to use that, not just when they're threatened, maybe they use it to separate clouds and create beautiful pieces of art in the sky. So most thunder dragons are artistic and use their lightning bolts to design, because that's a good word choice when I'm talking about being artistic. Okay, design pictures on clouds. And I'm linking to all of my ideas knowing that they like to fly. Okay, so they're going to be up in the clouds. So I'm using all of my ideas and linking them together, so I hope that you're doing the same. So that is my paragraph for hobby, so I'm going to reread it. Thunder dragons are probably best known for 3 reasons: creating storms, making thunderous noises, and playing Quidditch. They usually fly overseas and like to find remote islands to explore. Interestingly, sailors have been known to tame these beautiful beasts. Despite their appearance, thunder dragons are not as frightening as they seem. Most thunder dragons are artistic and use their lightning bolts to design pictures on clouds. So that's that paragraph, and then I'm going to just write a nice short paragraph to end. So my fascinating facts, or maybe did you know? So my last 2 subheadings haven't been questions, so I think I'm going to use a question for my last one. So I'm going to use, did you know? Question mark again. If it's a question, we need the correct punctuation. And underline my subheading. So did I know? Okay. So again, I'm going to look at my original text and I'm going to look about what they might have used to start there. So I can start in a similar way. So they used a sentence opener. So feared across the world they used. And I'm going to say misunderstood. I'm not sure if you know what that word means, misunderstood. So misunderstood means that you haven't quite understood what's going on and we don't really understand them as characters. We don't know fully about them enough, don't know enough information to be able to make a judgment. So I'm going to write misunderstood across, I'm going to say misunderstood across the world. And that's my sentence opener, so I'm going to have a comma there. Thunder dragons, because remember that's what I'm writing about. Thunder dragons are considered to be a myth. And remember, I'm going to magpie that idea because a myth is something that we don't know whether it's true or not. So something that's thought not to be true. So I like that idea. Thunder dragons don't necessarily seem real, but who's to say that they're not? So misunderstood across the world, thunder dragons are considered to be a myth. And then I'm going to use however. Okay, so despite this, however, there are people in the original Aliens text, we said that there were people in America, so I want to change that. I'm going to say there were people in Norway. Remember, proper nouns need capital letters. So I'm choosing a different country as to where my creatures have been spotted. So there are people in Norway who swear they've come face to face with the original, so I'm going to say that promise, maybe. Okay, you promise something and you think that it's true. So that promise, okay, that they've come face to face with thunder dragons. Full stop. I'm going to think about, if we're talking about Britain, people in Britain are British. So I'm going to be talking about Norway. The people in Norway are called Norwegians. So I'm going to say the Norwegians. And again, they need a capital letter. Insist that they are, do you remember in the original text when they used capital letters to emphasise a point? I'm going to use capital letters here because the Norwegians are emphasising that they are not dangerous, okay? That they are not dangerous or harmful, perhaps. That they're not harmful, but instead vulnerable, okay? So vulnerable creatures, and vulnerable, when we think of people that are vulnerable, maybe we think of babies, so people that can't look after themselves, maybe elderly people, and they're vulnerable creatures, saying that they actually need looking after, they need protection. So the Norwegians insist that they are not harmful, but instead vulnerable creatures that need protecting. And maybe this information text, this non-chronological report, is going to encourage humans who read it that if we ever come across a thunder dragon, that maybe we shouldn't be scared of it. Maybe we need to be kind and generous to it and protect it. So I'm going to read through that final paragraph of Did You Know? Misunderstood across the world, thunder dragons are considered to be a myth. However, there are people in Norway that promise that they've come face to face with thunder dragons. The Norwegians insist that they are not harmful, but instead vulnerable creatures that need protecting. So those are my 2 paragraphs, and I hope that you can write your 2 paragraphs with lots of detail, lots of different punctuation, and really trying to link it to your plan. But don't be afraid to go off your plan. I never had about that there are artistic creatures on my plan, but I thought, how else can I bulk out my writing? What else can I write? What links to what I've already added? I've said that they have lightning bolts coming out of their wings, so maybe I could use that. So link back to your ideas, make sure it flows, okay, and I'm really looking forward to reading them. So make sure you send them across as soon as they're done, and then I can give you some feedback and hopefully share them with everybody else next week. So well done.